Let me welcome everybody to our weekly Zoom meeting, which happens on every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Thailand time. If anybody is interested to join, you are welcome to join and ask questions concerning Theravada Buddhist meditation practice. So let me begin with the first person here, which is Gok Seng from Singapore. Good evening, Gok Seng. How are you?
Good evening, Ajahn. Fine. Ajahn, I have a question tonight. The question tonight is this: the practice of paramitas. Is this for the bhikkhus or is it for the lay person? And if for lay person, how do we apply the paramitas?
I'm not sure what you mean by paramita. You have the translation. What is the
perfections?
Perfection. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, these are the 10 Dhammas, 10 perfections that are needed for a person, an ordinary person like you and me, to become enlightened, to become a Buddha. This is what you need to develop. When you didn't have any Buddha to teach you, then these are the things you train yourself with in each life as a human being. When whatever the circumstances might be, you might be forced to develop a certain perfection first, like dana or metta and so forth. Eventually you want to develop all 10 perfection before you can become self-enlightened, like our Buddha, Prince Siddhartha. He, in his previous lives, many lives, he developed different paramis or different perfections until he came and born as a Prince Siddhartha and eventually accomplished the final parami, which is wisdom, with the support of all the other paramis. So he was able to become self-enlightened. Since he was looking for a teacher who can teach him how to be liberated from suffering, but no teachers could teach him, could tell him the way. So he had to solve this problem alone by himself with his penetrating wisdom to see the Four Noble Truths and see the three characteristics of existence, especially the anatta characteristics, and that there are no self in anything. Everything that we know, we see, feel, or touch are all anatta. But due to our delusion, we see them as self, as a person, as you and me, so forth. And in fact, they are all natural phenomena. So when he see that everything is natural phenomena, he know he cannot cling to them. He cannot expect things from them the way he wants them to be. So in this, he let go of his attachment and consequently let go of all the suffering associated with the attachment to things. So he became a Buddha, a self-enlightened person through his own effort by developing the 10 perfection through many lifetimes as humans. But for us, we are fortunate. We don't have to develop. We have to develop, but we have a condensed form. He teaches us to stick to the three: dana, sila, and pavana. So we don't have to experiment with other things. Is that clear? If you are born during the time when there's no Buddha, then you will just have to experiment with each different wisdom, with different perfection, depending on your preference and also the circumstance of your birth, whether you're able to which perfection you are able to develop during that lifetime. If you're rich, you might be able to develop dana. If you're poor, you might have to develop virya, effort. So each succeeding lifetime you might be under different circumstances, and the circumstance of your life will be the determining factor as to which perfection you will develop. But now with this lifetime, we have the perfect conditions, which is the teaching of the Buddha and his noble disciples, who can summarize for us what we have to do. So they summarize in the triple training of dana, sila, and bhavana. So this is what we have to do now. We don't have to go do all the 10 perfection. Although by doing these 3 dana, sila, and bhavana, we are actually developing all these 10 perfection also, indirectly. Okay?
Ajahn.
Does that satisfy your question?
Yes, Ajahn.
Okay. Well, let me go to Kar Phai Lim from Malaysia next.
Good day to you, Ajahn. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well. Go
Okay,
ahead.
good. I have a question in regards to dana and sila, or maybe a bit of bhavana. Whenever closer to Vesak Day, usually I'll get invitations to go to help out in a temple. So an incident happened 2 years back where I'm offering to help in a temple, but I was told that the newcomer should really clean the roof with the brushes to clean off the spider webs. So that's exactly what happened. I can see that spiders is running for its life naturally, and I stopped immediately, realizing that I could injure or maybe kill spiders. So somehow I stop it and I inform morally, sila is not within my principle to do that. So instead I choose to offer food itself. And recently I got an invitation again to help out something similar. I okay to do food offering, but not to clean up something like the spider webs or maybe clearing the pots with the mosquito larva. Because sometimes when I do meditation in terms of bhavana, the sights of the spiders running for its life always come back to me whenever closer to the Vesak Day. So do you think that my actions just to help out within my own means to provide food and also helping out something that is not required me to clean off the spiders or clean off the pot with the mosquito larva is a wise choice? I need some advice, Ajahn.
Well, if it's something that bothers you, and if you do it and it becomes a hindrance to your meditation practice, then you might have to avoid it.
Okay.
But for some people, they might say, well, they can clean without hurting the spiders. So they might be able to do it and not being bothered by their action. So I think this is up to each individual preference.
Okay. All right.
As to what type of dana you want to do.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay, I got it, Ajahn.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, Julia from Colorado, if I remember correctly. Hi, Julia.
Hello, hello, Ajahn. Thank you for remembering.
Any question or any comment?
Yes. So the view in the meditation has changed a little bit, and so I have two curiosities about how to best carry on the practice in everyday life. The view changed. I was sitting outside, and then the mind was just the right amount of stillness. And I think the fixed views that were there lifted up like a fishing net. It was very gentle. They lifted up and dissolved. And then before that, to rest the mind, I would just rest in the chitta. It was like a circle with sort of a central area, and just rest. And it was getting bigger and bigger. But then when this net lifted up and dissolved, then there was no longer separation between what I thought was my chitta and everything else. And so then I was a little bit, like, how shall I practice? And then Ajahn book helped me, I think. Somebody had told me a while ago about a book, Ajahn Langto Mahabua, a story, a teaching, and I believe Ajahn translated this. And there was a piece about that one thinks one knows emptiness if one is in an empty room. And I hope I'm not messing this up, but the gist, but then actually one is still in the room thinking one knows the emptiness. And so it's not really empty. And I read it, and then it just, everything vanished. And so now there's nowhere for the mind to rest anymore. And so sometimes that's a new sensation. And also sometimes there are some unusual inner sensations that are less familiar. So I wonder how to practice in daily life now. Thank you, Ajahn.
In daily life, when you deal with things, just treat everything as a natural phenomena if you can. Something that you cannot always control or change. So it's better to teach your mind to learn to accept them as they come. This will stop your mind from experiencing all form of worry or anxiety. And also teach your mind that the mind is not a self. There's no you in the perceiver or the knower. The knower is just another natural phenomena that happens to be the one who observe or know all the other phenomena. You understand what I mean? No self.
Yes, Ajahn, I understand.
No actor. No, there are action, but there are no actor. They are thinking, but there are no thinker. They are saying, but there are no sayer. See what I mean? Everything are just action by word, by body, and by mind, by mental volition. These are all actions, and they spring forth due to some condition, causing it to come about. And then when that condition ceases, then it disappears. And other new condition will come up, and then we'll start to get them into action again, like our thoughts. Our thoughts are driven by our connection with all the sensual organs, for instance. When we see something, then our thoughts start to think about those things that we see. These are this is the way things are. The goal is for us to not to be taxed by everything that we come across. We should be in harmony with everything, rather than in conflict with everything that we come across. See what I mean? And
Yes,
to do this, you would have to bring the mind to equanimity. Because when the mind is in equanimity, then it will just flow with everything, in harmony with everything. That's why we have to meditate a lot, to bring up equanimity in the mind. So that when we deal with everything in our daily life, we deal with equanimity. Okay.
Okay, Ajahn.
If our mind cannot remain in equanimity, sometimes we need wisdom to bring it into equanimity. Wisdom is anatta, seeing everything as anatta, everything as natural phenomena. So when we try to change something, when we realize we cannot because they are natural phenomena, like the wind, like the sun, the rain. Then instead of trying to change them, we change ourselves to harmonize with the wind and the rain instead. Okay? Don't change other people, change yourself. Change ourselves to accommodate everything that we come across. This is the goal of practice. Then we will have no dukkha, no stress, no anxiety, no worry, no sadness. Okay?
Thank you, Ajahn.
Good enough, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Then let me go to Kenneth next. Kenneth from Switzerland. Professor,
Hello, Ajahn.
are you teaching today?
Yes, I've been teaching, but taking some time out at the moment for something more important. Ajahn, I have a question, which is it's related to a question which came up in one of the recent Q&A, and it concerns an acquaintance of mine, a young relative, who has the body of a female, but really strongly has the mind of a male. And this recently just came out, and it's caused quite a lot of distress and so on in the family. And my question was, what part of the mind, what part of the mind is it that has this feeling of being male or female? How does that work in terms of moving on from one life to the next? Thank you.
It is formed as habits, like and dislike. We all have likes and dislikes. Colors, for instance, some people like red color, some people like green color. Some people hate red color, some people hate green color. This has been inbred in them from one life to the next by their very action that they do. See? And then they become a habit, part of the mind, or characteristics of the mind, or personality of the mind in the mind itself. So whenever the mind takes up a body, the body is just it's like a car. A driver who used to drive fast will always drive fast, regardless of what type of car he gets, right? A driver who likes to drive slow, he'll drive slow regardless of what type of car he drives. So the mind is like the driver, and the body is like the car. So you cannot force the driver to drive according to the car, even though you might be driving a race car, but he like to drive slow, for instance. So he drive a race car very slowly, and people think he's stupid or he's crazy because they don't understand. See, people don't understand that the mind and the body are two distinct things. But people tend to think that the body and mind is one. So if you have a female body, you have to be female, even though your mind is a male, for instance, and vice versa. With Buddhism, if you understand that there are two distinct people in one person, then you can appreciate and then you can understand and don't get upset or you know that the mind is a male, and you know the body is a female, and you know that the mind is the master, the body is the servant. So the servant cannot dictate the master what to be. It's the master who dictates the servant what to be. And the master happened to be male, and he dictated his female body to be male, for instance, like cutting the hair short, putting on pants, and so forth. And people cannot understand this because this is abnormal for most people. Because generally they match, the mind and the body can generally match. Only a few that don't match, that's all. As to how they don't mismatch, I don't know. I don't know what the mechanism is. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't matter because what we want is to understand and deal with the situation that we come across. That's all. To understand that the body and the mind are two separate persons. Yeah. And the mind is the master. The mind is the one who dictates what to be, a male or a female. To be athletic or to be a professor, to be an artist. These are the mind doing. The body just follow the order from the mind. That's all. Okay, understand now?
Okay, Ajahn, that's very clear. Thank you very much.
I don't know what's the reason for a male mind that happens to get a female body. I'm not. I don't know how. Maybe some fault in the biological manufacturing process, like we do in everything. Nothing is completely perfect, 100%.
Yeah, I think one of the problems with the individual concerned is that they kind of want to reject their female body and thinking of things like surgery and so on at this point because they just want to be male, not just in mind but also in body, which is creating a lot of distress.
That's right. Maybe part of it is because of the society itself that demands them to be. If you're a man, then you have to have a male body, for instance. Yeah. And if you're female, you have to have female body. So you have this transgender operation to get it right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. But if we come across Buddhism and we discover that there is something better than male or female thing, that is meditation, in which you don't have to be male or female, and you can have better happiness than having this male or female thing. Then you can then forget about your mismatch if you happen to have a mismatch. Then you can just meditate and don't have to deal with people or things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Hi, Claudia, you're next from Germany.
Good afternoon from Germany, Venerable Ajahn. Today I have a question and I have a remark. So first of all, I want to tell Kenneth from Switzerland, my son is transgender. He was born in a female body and we know about 6 years for sure that he's transgender and we support him very much. He is in foster care with us. He lives in our family since about 19 years. And it was very soon very clear that he is in the wrong body. So if Kenneth wants to get in touch with me, we can exchange email address or he can find me on Facebook with my name. So I would like to support him and to help him with this issue. We are very relaxed about it. So no problem for us. And I have a question, please. So I would kindly ask you for your wisdom when it comes to the word hope. So in this pandemic times, we often hear the word hope. We hope that the pandemic is over soon and things like that. And in my view, hope is just clinging on a desire how things should be. I'm not a big friend of the word hope, and many people can't understand it. So I would kindly ask you for your wisdom how the Buddhist view of hope is. Thank you.
Okay, hope, from my understanding, hope is delusional because you don't know really what's going to happen in the future, and when you hope, you actually just trying to make yourself happy, but not based on fact, because the fact is the future is impermanent. The future is not something you can predict. Sometimes you can by past action, by past experiences, but it can always be something else. Like we predict that tomorrow the sun will rise, and usually the sun rises. But maybe one day the sun won't rise. What will happen?
Yeah.
Then you will be disappointed, right?
Yeah.
So in Buddhism, we don't pin ourselves on hope because hope is really craving for something better. We always hope for something better.
Yeah.
So this is craving. And when we don't get it, then we feel sad, right?
Yeah.
We hope to get a raise, for instance, and we don't get it next month or next year. Then we become sad and discouraged. We get dukkha. But if we have no hope, then there will be no disappointment because we take things as they come. This is the view of Buddhism.
Yeah.
Take things as they come. Because we don't know what's going to come, truly.
Yes. Yeah.
And we don't want to be disappointed. There's an antidote to hope, is to expect the worst.
Yes. Yeah.
Then whatever happens cannot be worse than what you expect, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Then you would have no dukkha that way. No
Exactly.
suffering, no sadness, no disappointment, because you always get something better than you expect.
Yeah. Because so a while ago, I'm the contact person in my Buddhist community, and sometimes students come in our temple, students from other religions. And once they asked me, "Oh, don't you have any hope?" And I said, "No, I'm hopeless." And they were so shocked because I told them this. And but I thank you very much for your confirming words, because this is encouraging me to remain hopeless.
Right, because when you're hopeful, when you don't get it, then you become sad.
Yeah.
If you don't hope, then you'll never get sad. Whatever happens, expect the worst. This is the way Buddhism teaches us to contemplate constantly on aging, sickness, and death.
Yeah.
This is the truth. This is the future, but we don't want to think of it.
Yeah.
Hope. When you hope to get old, you will never be disappointed. When you hope to get sick, you will not be disappointed. when you hope to die, you will not be disappointed because you'll get all three of them sooner or later.
Yes. That's for sure. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But how do you do that? You have to do that with equanimity mind. If you have your mind in equanimity, then it can accept everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I still have to practice a lot for equanimity because I don't have the equanimity I would need, but I try not to lose my patience and go step by step.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Then we go to Lillian next.
Greeting, Ajahn. I only have one question today. I'm just wondering what is the benefit of chanting Itipiso or any other mantra for 108 times? Or
To develop mindfulness, to stop your mind from wandering back and forth between the past and the future, to bring it back into the present.
Okay. And is there any reason why is it 108 times instead of any other times?
Oh, just a number, really.
Okay.
But do it as much as possible until you can stop your mind from thinking aimlessly.
Okay.
Calm your mind, make your mind feel calm, peaceful, and happy. Then you can stop.
Okay.
If your mind is still restless, still agitated, just keep on chanting.
Okay. Okay. Thank you,
Right.
That's all.
Okay. Okay. Get Yenso from Penang. Hello.
Ajahn, good evening.
Any question from you today?
Ajahn, I just wonder what is the Buddhism point of view for those countries that approve the same-sex marriage. What is your opinions on Buddhism point of view?
As long as people are happy and not hurting other people, it's okay with Buddhism. See, Buddhism only look at the result from people's action. Whatever action that cause harm or injury on other people or on the person himself or herself, then this is bad. This is how the precept is based on the result from one's action. If you do something and it hurts yourself or hurting other people, then this is bad karma. But whatever you do doesn't hurt anybody, then it doesn't benefit anybody, or at least it doesn't hurt, then it's not bad karma. It might be neutral karma. And good karma is anything that you do and benefit people, make people happy. Then this is good karma, like dana, giving dana. The giver is happy from giving, and the receiver also happy from receiving.
Okay, yeah.
So each culture might have different ways of having partners. Like in the Islam world, a man can have 4 wives, for instance. If that's the way it is with that culture and people accept it and nobody complain, then it's okay.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Melinda from Singapore, how are you?
Hello, Ajahn. I'm well, thank you. I've moved to a workplace that's nearer to my house.
Does that solve your problem, or you still have problem?
I can't say it's a problem. I just be here and now, and I try to practice as I move along the day, keeping equanimous mind as much as possible. I'm now working at the elder care center, not so much of using computers, so it helps the body, but a lot more interactions. So I have to move and speak very mindfully. Sometimes some things I don't like, some things I like, so I take it as part of the practice. So the duty is not as heavy. so that I think allows some practice, hopefully.
Yeah, the goal of practice is to eliminate like and dislike.
Sorry, Ajahn?
The goal of practice is to eliminate likes and dislikes.
Mm. Mm. So Ajahn,
Just-
when we see some, I notice the mind when I see something I like, as I dislike, as I habitually comment, it should be this way, it should be that way. A lot of habits that
Instead,
comes.
you should just be merely knowing,
Mm.
by understanding that everything are natural phenomena,
Mm.
something that you cannot change or force it to be.
Mm.
You cannot force the wind, right? The rain. So you pretty much, you don't really have like or dislike the wind or the rain. You just leave them alone.
So the mind would just habitually make commentary. So the mind, so I just have to keep it. There's a knowing that the mind is running.
Yes,
And
just
not
knowing and accept them, accepting as they are.
Mm. Accept the mind as how it behaves and the external situation.
Accept the external situation.
Okay.
Accept the rain, accept the wind, accept the heat,
Mm.
accept everything. No reacting, no reacting.
Mm.
You can do this by meditation. The more you meditate, your mind become more non-reacting.
Mm.
And with the development of wisdom, you'll see that it's futile for you to react. When you react, you're causing more stress for yourself. You're not solving problem, you're creating more problem when you react.
Mm.
So it's better not to react.
Mm.
Just remain calm, peaceful, and happy, regardless of whatever happens. Let it happen.
Mm. Ajahn, if we like every day we keep sila, sometimes when like I mop the floor and I kill an ant accidentally, like we accidentally step on snails, how do we seek for forgiveness, or what should we do about this? Like we don't kill intentionally, but there's a killing done.
You just said this is the consequence of taking birth.
Ah.
You will end up being a killer or being killed, both of you. Both the killer and the killed. They are the consequence of having birth. So if you don't want to kill or being killed, don't take birth. Don't take rebirth. Don't come back. Make it your last life.
I don't have confidence. I don't have confidence that I won't come back.
Well, you're not practicing hard enough yet.
Yeah.
When you become a nun or somebody who practicing full time, I think then you will have the confidence. Okay.
So for now, Ajahn, like even like to become a nun, I don't feel confident about the self. There's always like lack of self-confidence now.
You have to practice more. Just keep practicing more. The more Dhamma you have, the more confidence you will have.
Mm.
All right? Okay.
Yeah, Ajahn.
Then we go to Yin. Yin, where are you from? First time in this meeting?
Good evening, Ajahn. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Second time, Ajahn. Last week I was here.
From Singapore?
From Malaysia.
Malaysia.
Yes.
Any question today?
Today I don't have a question. I'm just listening, Ajahn, to your teaching.
Right.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. And then we go to Forrest Tong from Boston, Massachusetts.
Hi, Ajahn. I'm very happy to hear your teachings today. I have a question. So I think I'm having a harder time to make my mind put forth effort in the practice. So I'm still sitting I'm still meditating as much as before, but I feel like my mind is not very enthusiastic about it. And I think maybe part of the reason might be that it feels like jhana is still very far away. So I guess I'm just wondering how to deal with this.
Well, you're still under the influence of your defilement. So to meditate, every time you want to meditate, you have to take a lot of effort, both mentally and physically. Mentally, you have to force your mind to direct your action toward meditation, and then do the actual meditation by sitting. See, like our mind right now is like a rocket, for instance. In order for a rocket to be able to go up into space, it has to overcome the force of gravity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you need powerful rocket in order to propel the rocket to go into space. So our mind right now is being pulled by the gravity of the defilement. And in order for us to be able to propel the mind to go away from the earth, from this world, this samsara, this world of rebirth, we need the Dhamma to propel the mind. So we cannot expect the mind, the Dhamma to come to us naturally. We have to produce, we have to generate by forcing the mind to do things that it should be doing, to give it the strength to overcome the defilements. So you have to, if you cannot force yourself yet, then you'll have to go live with someone who can force you. Like monks, they go to live in a monastery with a teacher. And in the monastery, the teacher will set up rules and schedules of practices. So you are forced to do, if you live with them, then you have to do what they do, right? But if you live by yourself, then you have no one to force you. And if you cannot force yourself, then what can you do? You give up. So right now, when you are not inspired, then you should listen to Dhamma talks or read Dhamma books. Or maybe from time to time, you might have to go join a community, a good community, that can inspire and can push you to do your practice.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm waiting until enough people are vaccinated to go to Temple Forest Monastery in New Hampshire.
Yeah. In the meantime, if you cannot go, then you have to rely on bringing the monastery into your home. Follow, think of the schedule that the monastery have, and then set up the same schedule that the monastery have in your home. Turn your home into a monastery. Because if you wait for all the conditions to be right, it might be too late.
Yeah.
Because you never know when will the condition will be right.
Mm-hmm.
And when they are right, you might not want to do it anyway.
Yeah. So
you have to be proactive in this regard. Proactive in your practice. Don't wait for the conditions to come to you. You have to bring the conditions to you yourself.
Okay. Yeah, this gives me some good inspiration. Thank you, Thanajan.
Set up a goal. Today, what I'm going to do, I'm going to meditate for many hours. How many hours? And so forth. I'm going to do walking meditation for how many hours? I'm going to read Dhamma books. These are things that you can set up and force yourself to stick to it. Stick to the schedule.
Okay.
Sometimes you just have to be your own teacher. If you don't have teacher to teach or to inspire or to push you, then you have to teach yourself, inspire yourself, and push yourself to do the practice. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, before I go to Gary, there's a person up on the corner here next to me. Sam. Okay, let me go to Sam first, because if not, he'll be waiting until the last person.
Good evening, Ajahn. I'm from Melbourne. So this is my first time join. I've been following the Facebook page, and this time, my first time join. So I live in Melbourne, Australia.
Yes.
Thank
you have any
very
question
much.
today?
Yeah, I do have Ajahn. This is in regard of the meditation. So I mostly practicing meditation using like a breathing or Buddha as an object. So after some times, I usually meditate about, I time my meditation, and I usually meditate about 1 hour. And basically in the middle of that, mostly my mind is calmed down. And to the point, actually, I feel relaxed. I feel like my body is disappeared and feel very light, like a full moon in a clear sky. Now the problem is actually, and then in 1 hour, usually the alarm sounding and I finish my meditation. Now the problem is actually that experience actually, my body is light, everything is like free of trouble. So when I go back to the normal life, then I become like a grumpy. So like, wow, it's not satisfactory. How can that experience actually stick like a haunting me? Oh, now I have to walking. And so in some of the experience, I feel so light. I feel like I'm flying, so comfortable. But then in the life, oh, I have to eat. I have to do this thing. Or I have, so, and in many cases actually, I become like a grumpy. It's not satisfied. So and it's give me trouble actually. And last week and I think last month, I tried to cut down my meditation because I become more and more angry in the real life, become more not satisfied. So I hope that Ajahn gave me solution. Should I cut down, or my method is wrong, or?
No, your meditation is good. What is wrong is after what you do after meditation. See, after you come out of meditation, you stop controlling your mind. You should continue to control your mind with mindfulness. That's what you not do. See? You just let your mind go in all different directions. Whatever it wants to do, whatever it wants to think, you let it do it. So this is what you have to do when you come out of meditation. Continue on controlling your mind with Buddha, or keep watching what your body is doing. Then this will stop your mind or prevent your mind from thinking about other things. And then you can then control your actions and only do what you really need to do.
Yeah.
Say you should be actually continuing to meditate in a different mode. So instead of sitting, you continue on meditating by walking, standing, sitting, or doing things. You should keep continuing doing meditation, but in a different mode. And you might not get the result as you get from sitting, but at least you will get some result that will make your mind calm and make your mind peaceful, and you won't feel grumpy.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn. Thank you very much.
We forget that as soon as we come on meditation, we can just do anything we want, let the mind do anything it wants. And that's what happens when you let the mind do anything it wants. When it's doing something that it doesn't like or it doesn't get, then it becomes unhappy.
Oh, yeah. I see. Thank you, Ajahn.
All right. So continue on meditating even when you're not sitting.
Yeah.
Walking, eating, do whatever you do. If you can recite the mantra, recite the mantra. If you cannot recite the mantra, watch what you do. Then your mind cannot generate other thoughts to hurt you.
Yeah, yeah,
Make you feel bad.
sure. Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you very much.
Try and let me know next time when we talk
Yeah,
whether it works or not.
thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, Gary from Singapore. Good evening.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Any question today?
No questions from me today, just happy to be listening in.
Okay. Yeah. Let me go to Sri and check. From Vancouver.
Hello, Ajahn. So many good Dhamma today. I like the one with Claudia. He said if you expect to get you won't get disappointed. You
expect the worst.
You never get disappointed. You get.
But we like to hope for the best, but we never get the best, do we?
Yeah, I think it really helps me, Ajahn. When I got my vaccine, because I had a bad reaction last time, 10 years ago with the swine flu vaccine, just like Claudia, I think. I remember your teaching, like, expect the worst. So I just expect that, maybe I'll get really, really sick or die. But turned out like, it was a really good experience. So, but next time maybe it's worse. I don't know. So, but,
when is your second shot? 2 weeks from now?
We are very delayed. They don't tell us now. Because I think the latest research showed that actually if you get the first shot, it's already very, very highly effective. So they try to get everybody the first shot instead of focus on the second one. I think they just let everybody get the first one.
I see. Okay,
yeah.
Good.
And I followed Claudia and took your book along for emotional support. It's like a security blanket. It feels good to have Ajahn like by my side. A little bit silly, but I still feels good to have your Dhamma with me. Yeah.
That's why in Thailand people like to have amulet, Buddha amulet. They put it on they hang it on their neck and makes they feel safe, makes them feel the Buddha is protecting them or something. Psychological, it's all psychological,
yeah.
Not real. But people need this thing to make them feel more secure.
Right. It's more, I think the Dhamma book is better, Ajahn, because it's like, it reminds us of your Dhamma.
It's more effective. The Dhamma, the words of the Dhamma is real. And if you can apply it to yourself even for temporarily, it can calm your mind temporarily.
Right.
Good. Good antidote for stress and anxiety.
Right. I think it's very, very helpful for me. Like, expect the worst. It's very, very helpful.
That's why we call the Dhamma medicine.
Mm.
Dhamma is the medicine for the mind.
Right.
Yeah. Any question today?
Not me, Ajahn. Like,
Sri?
Yes. Hi, Ajahn. My question is, like, can one achieve like samadhi without experiencing the stage of bodily pain? Like,
yes, if you have strong mindfulness, you can enter into jhana in 5 minutes.
Okay.
So you don't want to go through bodily pain, you have to develop a lot of mindfulness, so that your mindfulness is continuous. When you sit and focus on your breathing, your breath, and you might just stick with the breath and nothing else. Then in 5 minutes time, your mind can become empty, still, and happy. But this is only for samadhi, see.
Yes.
But with wisdom, you need to have a painful feeling, so that the mind will learn how to let go of the painful feeling and live with it.
Okay.
But that's another level. The first level, you don't need the painful feeling of the body. If you want to enter jhana quickly, you have to have strong mindfulness. Some people they have strong mindfulness from their past life. So when they first try to meditate, they can enter into jhana in 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But if you don't have strong enough mindfulness and it takes you half an hour, and you're still not calm, then it means you have to develop a lot of mindfulness first.
Oh, okay.
By reciting a mantra all day long if you can. By focusing on your body action all the time. Don't let your mind go away from the body. Keep watching the body, like you're watching the breath.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. You answer my question, my questions. Yeah. Because like sometimes if I meditate, I can get to 1.5 hours. But then I'm not sure if I'm using my will or
It's only mindfulness that can get your mind to become calm.
Yeah.
Your will is only to push your mindfulness. If you have strong will, then you can push your mindfulness.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Maybe if you have other question, we can come back later on.
Yeah, thank you.
Alvin Lee, you're next from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. I don't have any question.
Vince Chua from Singapore. Greetings.
Yes, hi Ajahn.
Can you speak a bit louder?
Yeah, hi Ajahn.
Okay, good.
Good. Currently, my question is, I like to go back to the heart and recall and enjoy the joy and happiness, because that's closest to calm. And with that, because the knower is still in place, you just recall the joy and happiness. You like to go back to the heart. But the problem I face is you're no longer interested in investigation of the Dhamma, because you find that the outside world is a lot of, because they said that to grow wisdom, you need to watch the 3 characteristics, anicca, dukkha, and anatta. I find it's too busy. So I always like to go back to the heart and recall the joy and happiness. But then the 2 bad things that I have is that I'm not interested in investigation of the 3 characteristics. Neither am I interested in sitting meditation anymore. So I always like to go back to the knower with the joy and happiness. So how to overcome this?
Well, if you're happy with staying with the knower, there's no problem there.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to think of the situation in which you might have to face some crisis in your lifetime, like losing something you love. Then your mind can be afflicted with a lot of suffering. And if you don't prepare yourself by developing the wisdom, then you have nothing to help you then.
Oh.
So you might have to look in the future. Right now, maybe everything is okay, everything going well. So you don't need to, nothing bother your mind. But sometimes things in life changes, and something can bother you and cause you not to be able to go to sleep, causing you to worry all the time. Then if you have wisdom, this can help you.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to tell your mind that you need the wisdom, maybe not today, but who knows what tomorrow will be. If you have wisdom, if things change for the worse, your wisdom can help you to protect your mind from being subjected to some mental pain or suffering. And it's very simple to develop wisdom, is to think that life is not always the same. Things can change. And they do change from day to day. Some for the better, some for the worse. But whatever it is, we have to be able to withstand all these changes and remain calm and not disturbed by them, by accepting them. Don't cling to anything or anybody, because when you cling to them and when you lose them, that's when you will feel the pain. But if you don't cling, when you lose them, you don't feel the pain. Right. So this is what wisdom can help you. Unless you have strong mental power, for some reason you can stay with the knower and not be disturbed by any changing conditions, then you don't need to. Can you do that? You think you can withstand any kind of situation that might arise in your life?
No, going to the dentist is painful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or being diagnosed with a certain kind of illness, like cancer or something like that.
Right.
Can you calm your mind, keep your mind not disturbed by these things?
I think it's a habitual thing that I like to recalibrate myself back to the joy and happiness of the meditation effect that is coming.
It means you are addicted to samadhi. You are addicted to calm.
Yeah. Yes. Agree.
So you have to teach your mind that calm is good, but wisdom is better. Because
okay. Ajahn, another question.
Okay. All right.
One more question. Is there a different level of knower? I mean, the way we know things, is there a different level? Because seems like I only know knower as a knower. Is there different stages, like jhana, like 1, 2, 3, or knower 1, 2, 3?
I don't know. Yeah, knower is just knowing.
Or just knowing. Okay.
Just knowing. It just depends on how intense your knowing is, maybe.
All right.
Maybe it's not so intense. Sometimes it's more intense. The more intense your knowing is, then the less your mind will be affected by things around you.
Right. Okay.
But this doesn't matter, the intensity. What matters is whether you have it or not. So if you think you can develop this knower and protect your mind from any form of mental suffering, then it's okay. But you might want to ask yourself, if something worse happened to you now, will your mind can still resort to the knower and not be disturbed by it?
I can't.
Yeah. Then you need to have wisdom. You have to see anicca, dukkha, anatta in order to distract your mind from the problem. Distract the mind from the things that cause your mind suffering or stress. If you see them as anicca, dukkha, anatta, then your mind can become detached from them. Okay?
Thank you so much.
All right. Next, Alfredo from Brazil.
Bante,
Good evening.
my
Good
practice
morning.
is okay.
Okay.
It's okay. My practice is okay.
You're happy, you're calm, you're peaceful.
Yes, I'm okay. I practice more in mind. My body is agitated, né? But it's okay.
No sadness. No
No,
sadness. No fear, no sadness.
No, I live alone, not
No,
very.
no loneliness, living alone, but no loneliness.
No.
You don't feel lonely.
No.
Good.
It's okay.
Then it's okay then. Okay.
Yes. I'm controlling Sakaya Jichi.
Sakaya Ditti.
Yes, very good to help us.
All right. Then if you have no question, and let me go to other people, okay?
Okay.
All right. Uma, you're next from Pakistan, right? Uma?
Hello, Ajahn. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Ajahn. My first question is, how does one achieve Sotapatti?
Sotapanna?
Yes.
You have to get rid of the three fetters, the first three fetters, the Sakaya Ditti, the view that the five khandha has a self in it. In fact, there's no self in the five khandhas. They are natural phenomena. The body is a physical phenomena, while the four nama khandha, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana are mental phenomena. But we tend to look at them as a self. We look at the body as a self, as being me, as being I. And we think of the mind, of thought as being I am thinking, I am feeling, so forth. But there's no I in all these things. These things are just they are just thought, they are just feeling that rise and cease due to conditions.
So that is the wisdom of the Sotapanna. But
Yes.
how does one actually achieve Sotapanna?
Well, he has to let go of his attachment to the body. Like right now, if you still have this Sakaya Ditti, you will be afraid of getting old, getting sick, or die. Because you think you are dying, you're the one who's gonna get old, get sick, or die. But once you contemplate and study the nature of the five khandha, according to the way the Buddha saw it, then we see that they are just phenomena, natural processes, like the wind, the rain, and the sun. So whenever the wind stops, nobody gets hurt when the wind stops. So when the body stops breathing, no one dies. It's just a stop functioning of the body, which is made up of the four elements, which will then have to separate themselves, go their separate ways. So you have to teach your mind that the body is not you. The mind is the one who just possesses this body, like a car, an automobile that you use to take you to places. But one day the automobile will have to break down and no longer repairable. Then you have to ditch it. So likewise with the body.
So how does one personally know that he has achieved Sotapanna, that he can now go to a monk and say that he has achieved Sotapanna?
He has to take a test of meeting the painful feeling, sickness, or painful feeling equal to real sickness. And also meeting a situation in which he might have to die, for instance, and then see whether his mind can remain calm and not disturbed by whatever is happening to the body. But in order to do this, you have to have equanimity. You have to develop jhana first, and then you have to teach your mind that the body is not you, to stop your mind from attaching to the body, from desiring the body not to get old, get sick, or die. because it's futile, because you cannot prevent or stop the body from getting old, getting sick, or die. So when you are coming face to face with that, and you say, well, you cannot stop it. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And if you are willing to let go of your attachment, then your fear of death will disappear from that point onward for the rest of your life. You will no longer be afraid of death. Or same way with painful feeling. Once you can go through the painful feeling, then you will not be afraid of the painful feeling anymore.
So doubt is removed.
Then you know that you have let go of your attachment or your wrong view of the five khandhas. You see it as being a natural phenomenon, which you cannot control.
Because the path is gradual, is Sotapanna the most important thing for a layperson if he wants to succeed in the Buddha Dharma?
Well, it's the first obstacle that for anybody to achieve Nibbana has to overcome. Once you have let go of this fetter, the five khandha fetters, you will automatically also let go of the other two that comes with it. The second one is the doubt in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Once you apply the teaching of the Buddha to kill your mind from suffering, then you know that the teaching of the Buddha is real, is true. And the one who teaches this Dhamma is also true. And there actually was the Buddha. It's not something created by fiction or something like that. And the noble disciples are also true. Those people who follow the teaching of the Buddha and apply it to their mind can release the mind from suffering.
Okay, yes. So can a person not in a Buddhist country hope to achieve Sotapanna?
Your voice is not so clear. Please repeat again.
I said, can a person not in a Buddhist country hope to achieve Sotapanna?
Can a person doubt in the Buddha's teaching in order to achieve Sotapanna? If he's doubtful of the Buddha's teaching, then he won't apply the teaching. He won't take the test. He won't take the examination that the Buddha prescribed. So he cannot become a Sotapanna that way.
So can mental disability serve as a deterrent to achieve Sotapanna?
Can you say it again?
Can mental disabilities, serve as a...
Mental ability?
Yes, mental disabilities.
Disability.
Yes. Can they serve as a deterrent for someone to achieve Sotapanna?
Yes, because you need a healthy mentality. You need the mind that can develop wisdom, can develop mindfulness. If you cannot develop this, if you're mentally disabled, like people who cannot even control their own thoughts or their own action, then it's not possible for them to achieve enlightenment.
Okay, and how does one see Nibbana, even temporarily?
By entering into jhana. When you're in jhana, it's not Nibbana, but it's temporarily. In jhana, the defilements stop working. So no stress in any form will appear in the mind. The mind will be clear, calm, peaceful, and happy. But it's only temporarily. You can only stay in jhana for a certain period of time. Then when your mindfulness becomes weakened, then you have to withdraw from that state. And then your stresses, your defilement will start coming back and generate more stress in your mind. But with Nibbana, it will be long, forever. The mind will always be peaceful, calm, and happy because there are no defilement to create any stress in the mind. All right.
Yes, one last question, Ajahn. In samadhi, in a weak state of samadhi, can one still practice wisdom, or should he actually wait for jhana?
Well, the amount of samadhi will indicate the amount of wisdom you can develop. See? If you have 10% samadhi, then you probably can develop 10% wisdom. So you can develop wisdom when you come out of samadhi, but how long can you do it? Sometimes briefly. Then your mind wants to go think about other subject, and you cannot yet see clearly the subject of Dhamma that you want to teach the mind. So you have to go maybe develop more samadhi, let the mind become calmer longer. Then when you come out of samadhi, then you can contemplate, study the nature of the Dhamma teaching longer. Okay?
Yes, thank you, Ajahn. That would be all.
Okay. B. Rabin from Bangkok, you're next.
Good evening, Thanajan. I'd like to say this is a very intriguing and educational session. I've learned a lot from listening to questions from many other people. And I was just thinking about what Thanajan just said about developing calm is good, but to develop wisdom, you need painful experiences, which I was just reflecting on myself that it's not so easy. The only painful feeling I can think of is when my legs get really, really sore from meditation. So that's what I try to do. I try to think about the painful feeling in my legs and try to let go. Just say that, oh, this is part of the body. Your mind should not be disturbed by it. Is this the starting point? Should I start with this? And maybe when I experience more painful feelings, I can try to focus on them when I come out of samadhi.
Well, according to the Buddha's teaching, there's nobody who experiencing the pain. See? So you want to convince your mind that there's nobody to react to the pain. The mind just a knower. Let the mind just remain a knower, not a reactor. Let the feeling be a feeling. Let it appear, like the sun and the rain or the snow. Let the body, there's no self. So leave the body alone. Don't do anything with the body. Don't move the body to alleviate the pain. The body is not disturbed by the pain. See, even though the pain comes from the body, but the body is not disturbed by the pain. And the knower is just the one who just knows the pain, but it doesn't really being affected by the pain. The pain is the body is the one who's being afflicted by the pain, but the body does not react to the pain. So should the mind. The mind should also not react to the pain. The mind should just be merely knowing. So try to apply this principle when you're facing pain. Just leave everything alone. Leave the body alone. Leave the pain alone, and let the mind just be the knower, not an actor. Right now we use the mind. The mind comes as an actor rather than as a knower, and that's why things go bad for the mind when it becomes an actor. You want to get rid of this actor because this actor is delusional. It's being created by the delusion. The delusion to think that the mind is the self. When the mind is not a self, the mind is just a knower. But it has the ability to act. See? But you don't want to use that to cause the mind stress or suffering. The mind can act in a way that doesn't cause the mind to suffer. That is to not to act, not to react. Or it should act. It should act in a way that doesn't cause any stress to the mind. This is just a principle. This is a theory. You have to apply it in real time. Real time is when you you come across some painful feeling, either from stomach ache, headache, or you kick on a stone and you get painful feeling on your foot. Then see how your mind react. Can your mind just say, oh, okay, the body is like this, the pain is like this, and me, I'm just a knower, so I just know. Why should I get upset? Why should I get mad?
Oh yeah, that's a very good example. Sometimes we subconsciously are unaware that we get upset or get annoyed at something. Maybe it's good to take a step back and just observe.
Just be a knower rather than be an actor. But we have been trained by delusion to be an actor all the time, to act and react to everything that we come across. And this is where suffering comes, stress comes, because when we cannot deal with the situation, then we have stress. But if we don't deal with the situation, leave the situation alone, there will be no stress. Just be merely knowing. Knowing that everything comes and goes, everything is not under your control. So why try to do anything? So why try to control things and causing a lot of stress when you cannot do it?
So just have no expectations. Just leave everything as it is. And whatever comes, just notice, oh, here it comes, here it goes.
This is ultimately when you take the test. But if you're not taking the test, you can decide, you can use wisdom to judge whether this situation you can deal with it or not. If you can deal with it, then you can deal with it, as long as it doesn't cause you any stress. But if it's causing you any stress, then you have to stop dealing with it. Like the body, right now you can still fix it, right? When you get sick, you know the medicine that will cure this sickness, then so you take the medicine. But when you come to a sickness in which you cannot do anything about it, then you just have to leave it alone.
Yeah.
So when we're developing wisdom, we want to deal with the situation in which we cannot do anything about it. That will force us to leave things alone.
Yes, that's right. It applies for everything, every case.
Everything. But when you're not if you're not taking the test, then you can always deal with things as much as you can. But when you get to the point where you know you cannot do anything, then it's just like taking the test. You just have to let it go, let it be. Then you will have no stress that way. If you want to change and you keep insisting on changing and you cannot, then you're creating a lot of stress that way. Because your want or your desire is the one that's causing the stress, not the situation. The situation doesn't cause you the stress, but it's your desire to deal with the situation that's causing you the stress. Okay, get it?
Yes, I understand.
Any more questions?
Yes, I have one more question, Thanajan. I was wondering if maybe Thanajan could maybe explain a bit about Kasina meditation, and would it be a suitable option for me to consider in addition to Anapanasati?
It's like Anapanasati. Instead of using the breath, you're using color, mental color. You just have to imagine color in your mind. Like if you want to use green color, and from what I read, you first use your visual eyes to look at the green color, and then try to remember that green color when you close your eyes, and try to bring that green color into your mental eyes. You know, in doing this, you're focusing on the color, on creating the color, so you cannot go think about other things. Just like when you're watching your breath. If you find it suitable for you, you can try it. You can use different color, red, green, yellow, white. First, you look at the color with your visual eyes. and then close your visual eyes and generate it to appear in your mental eye. When you do this, you are in the process of focusing, like watching your breath. So your mind cannot go think about other things. Because as soon you start thinking about other things, the color will disappear from your mind. Okay?
Yes.
Try it if you like, if you want to try it. See, maybe it might be suitable for you. All right. Then we go to Anura.
Yes, thank you, Thanajan.
Okay, you're welcome. Anura, you're next. You're late now. I mean, it's late for you now.
It's okay, Thanajan. How are you? Yeah.
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
in
just
the morning.
past 2. Yeah. So yeah, Thanajan, I don't have any questions today. I'm happy to listen in. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Next, Evie from Indonesia.
Good evening, Thanajan.
Can you speak louder, please?
Can you hear me, Thanajan?
Louder. Can you speak louder? Okay, can hear you. I can turn up the volume.
This today, I have a nimitta box was bothering me for these 2 days, Ajahn. It's flying off, wanting to beat my hand, but it didn't do. Then I woke up and I started again. I thought this only happened once. It turned out that tomorrow meditation this bug appear again. It want to enter my ears, but my ears seems to have something amused, and I felt them clearly like a worm that wanted to crawling out from my ears. These bugs also appear in my dream. So I catch it and I put it in plastic, and I forget to let it go. And when I remember to let it go, the bugs almost died, but didn't die. And the bugs didn't bother me again this morning. Is this my bad karma, Ajahn? Regarding this bugs, does it mean I enter to concentration? Every time I enter the state of broad space, clear and comfortable, I always cough and come out again. Is this my bad karma preventing me for entering the comfortable?
Well, you shouldn't worry about what causing you. What you should worry is how to deal with it. And how to deal with it is to focus on your meditation object and disregard everything that's causing you a problem. Try to focus, try to get concentrated. Then the thing that distracting you then will not be able to distract you. Don't waste your time thinking about whether it's good karma or bad karma or what you did, discussing all these things. Learn how to deal with it. And the way to deal with it is to ignore it and just to focus on your meditation object.
Sometimes my meditation is a little strange. Sometimes there are people knocking on my door suddenly.
Ignore them. They are all distractions. Ignore them. Disregard. Just keep on focusing on your breath or on your mantra. When you meditate. But when you're not meditating, if your people come to visit you, knocking on your door, you might have to answer the door. But when you meditate, you don't want to be distracted by anything.
That is 4 p.m. Ajahn. Nobody knocking for me.
Okay, just don't pay any attention. Just keep meditating.
Okay, Ajahn. And I often to have a strange dream that many people are chasing me. They want to follow me. So I run and they run too, but they smile at me. There is a Chinese children, adult, Muslim also there. They are around 30 people. Sometimes I
Just
think
just let them be. Just let them be. Don't pay attention to them. They come and go. It's like watching a movie.
yeah, Ajahn. And sometimes I dream that many people hug me and kiss me, and some even feel my feet. My feet has a soreness. Usually, but now already heal it. First, I didn't realize, but a moment later, when I running, I see, my foot is no hurt anymore. Yeah, he was complete heal me, but just a dream. But it really come true. My leg no sore again.
This because your mindfulness is not strong enough to stick with your meditation object. You get easily distracted by things that appear. So your meditation will not advance because you will be always encountering and involving yourself with all these things that appear in your meditation. So try to ignore them. Just keep focusing on your breath. If you use anapanasati, if you use a mantra, just keep reciting the mantra. Okay? All right. Then we go to Philip Lim from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. I got a question with regards to the mind, which relates to an enlightened being. When an enlightened being enters the paranibbana, I know the body separates and it goes to its four elements. There's the other khandas, which is the sanya, sankara, vedana, and vijnana, still exist, or they separate, and only the knowing still exists in the form of nibbana.
Oh, they are parts of the knowing. They cannot separate from the knowing. But whether
So-
they are used or not, that's another story.
Okay. Understand.
Because from story you hear from the masters, meditation masters, some of them say some Buddhas come and talk to them, visit them in their samadhi. So that means that in order for the Buddha to come and connect with our mind, he has to use the four khandas.
So the four khandas are part of the knowing mind.
Yeah, part of the knowing element.
And yes, and whether they're using it or not using it,
Yeah.
is,
That's up to that each individual element. Maybe there's some strong bond between another mind, yet like a Buddha, he had a strong bond to his mother. So even his mother doesn't have a body to connect with, he could still connect the mind of his mother through his mind to his khandas, to the nama khandas, by teaching his mother mentally rather than physically, by thoughts. He can send his thought toward his mother, and his mother could understand what he was thinking about, teaching her the Dhamma. So when the Buddha gave Dhamma talks to the celestial being, the spiritual beings, he used the nama khandas to do it. But when he teaches human like us, he used all the five khandas. He used the nama khanda to direct the body to speak the Dhamma. So the nama khanda doesn't disappear at the time of death or at any time. It's always part of the mind itself. But whether it's functioning or not, that's up to each individual mental knowing element to do. You can stop them, or you can tell them to do things if he wants to. If he wants to connect with you, once maybe your old friend became enlightened and he passed away, but he still think of you. He might connect you through your meditation if you're able to meditate. If you're not, he might come into your dreams when you're dreaming.
Okay.
And teach you the Dhamma when you're sleeping in your dream.
Oh, okay.
All right. It's just my thought. I could be wrong. Okay. So you have to just try. This is how I see it anyway.
I think teaching in a dream, I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not something that you should worry about, because what you need to do is practice more than knowing about this thing. But this just bonus knowledge. It's not necessary for your practice for enlightenment. But since you asked, so I say I talk about it.
And I also think, okay, one more question is, Ajahn, I think it was asked earlier. During meditation, or even during normal life, I mean, I find myself getting attached to the peace, the calmness of meditation, and I always want to go back to it. I know it's an attachment. When do I know to release or to let go of that calmness in order for me to know that it's an attachment in itself?
When you find that you cannot stop your stress, when you run into some problem and you cannot use this calm to stop your stress, then you know you need something stronger medicine. So you might need the wisdom now you have to contemplate on the situation to see it as being anicca anatta, in order to teach your mind to let go. But if you are living under normal condition like now, you might not, you can find that using this samadhi is good enough for you. But when you run into some problem and you cannot even go to sleep, then what you do, if you cannot use samadhi to stop it, then you need to have wisdom instead. So it's nice to do the homework, develop wisdom now before you take the test. Because when the test comes, if you haven't yet developed, you won't be able to use it. You won't be able to say, oh, this is anicca, it comes and it will go, thing rise and cease. If it's gonna happen, there's nothing you can do about it. Then you can just say, okay, I'll forget about it. But if you're still attached, you will have the opposite view. You will think, oh, I can do it, I can manage it, I can hold on to it. And that's what causing you a lot of stress. Because it's the wrong view. The view to think that you can control, you can manage, you can still hang on to it, keep it. Yeah. But in fact, it's gonna go anytime.
Okay.
So it's good to when you're not meditating, you can always contemplate on the three characteristics of existence to prepare your mind for the eventuality. And you might lose your job tomorrow, next year, who knows? Your company may decide to close down anytime. But you don't think of this way, right? You think, oh, I'm going to work in this company until I quit. But maybe the company will quit before you quit. What's going to happen? You never know, right?
Yes, you never know.
Yes. So if you don't think in this way, that means you are being complacent. You're not preparing yourself for impermanence. So you have to expect the worst of everything at any time. Ask yourself, what's going to happen if this thing happens? Can you deal with it? Can you live with it? Can you not be hurt by it? If you lose this thing or this person. So this is the homework you have to do now. See? That's why the Buddha teaches us to always think that we are subjected to separation from our loved ones. sooner or later we will be separated from each other. If you contemplate and you prepare your mind for it, so when it happens, you say, oh, it's no big surprise, right? But when you don't contemplate, then when it happens, it becomes a big surprise to you. And it might knock you out.
Right.
That's why people can turn from very happy to be very sad when things happen suddenly to them. It's because they're not prepared themselves for this eventuality. They don't want to, they deny, they don't want to think about it. See? People don't want to think about death and separation or sickness. So when this thing come upon them, they cannot deal with it. So this is something can inspire you or can push you to start contemplating on anicca, dukkha, anatta. Are you protected yet? Have you taken the vaccine? The wisdom is taking the vaccine. By contemplating on anicca, dukkha, anatta, is actually taking the vaccine for the mind to protect the mind. When the anicca and dukkha, anatta attack the mind can be protected because it has already taken some vaccine. So it has the ability to withstand the attack of the anicca, dukkha, anatta. Understand what I say?
Yes, very, very clear.
So take the vaccine now, the mental vaccine, not the physical vaccine. Take the anicca, dukkha, anatta vaccine. Think of everything as anicca. Your body, my body, your son, your daughter, your wife, your father, your mother. They are anicca. They are anatta. No self, no self. Nobody die. When the body die, your father doesn't die with the body. Your wife doesn't die with your body. Your son, your daughter don't die with your body, with their body. The body is just a body. This is something you have to keep teaching your mind. See? So when things happen, you have the right information to tell the mind that nobody dies. But if you don't teach your mind right now, when your father dies, you say, oh, my father passed away, my wife passed away, my mother passed away. It's not your wife, your father, your mother. It's their bodies that pass away. All right?
Yes.
Okay. Then we go to Kirian Duang from London. Hello, greetings. Any question?
Hello, Thanachan. I have no questions today. Happy to listen in. Thank you.
Can you tell us the state of your mind in relationship to the attending of this class, whether it has helped you or worse, make you better or make you worse, your mind better?
It does help me. If I use it as a background, it helps me a lot to calm my mind down. Although like sometimes there's new information or new good answers to new questions, but it's such a good background.
Yes, good to hear that. So you enjoy joining our meeting.
Yes.
You find some benefits from this meeting.
Yes.
Okay, this will makes me have more willingness to continue on teaching.
Thank you very much. It's very helpful.
Okay. Then we go to the next person at iPhone. What's your name, iPhone? You're next. You have to unmute your microphone first. Okay.
Okay. Now, สวัสดีค่ะหลวงตา สวัสดีค่ะ
You have to speak Thai. I speak English.
I know. I'm trying to because I've been watching in Thai versions, and then I just want to bring this to my friends because you really want to get to know Buddhism more. Then that's the reason I want to attend this one. But I just come in just to observe for the first time first. Okay.
Okay. Where
And
you
look,
from? You're from France, right? You're living in France?
No, I'm from Thailand.
Oh, from Thailand. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm in United States right now. Okay, but I think Ajahn knows my sister.
I see
The one,
she came to the Wat this morning, I think, to give some food.
yeah, there's two sisters.
Yes. The
Okay,
younger
but
one, the
anyway.
younger one, the younger one.
Yeah, the younger one. Yeah, but the reason I want to join in English because I can bring this to my friends and I can explain to her because she's been asking me a lot of questions about the Buddhism, and then the words that said it in English is very difficult for me to explain to her. Then I just want to get used to what the words that we are talking about here, that I can just share with her.
Okay, good. So you want to learn the English word for all the Dhamma.
Right, because then, yes, like sometimes when I listen to the Thai and then I'm using the iPhone and my battery ran out quick. Then sometimes I just quit it right away. I mean, it's like, oh, I have no battery left. That's the reason I say, I think in English is better because I think that not too many people that attend this. Like, actually, we do have a lot more, right? Ajahn.
Yes, we still have a lot more people waiting. So if you don't have any question, may I go to the next person then?
Sure. Thank you so much.
Okay. Next, Soling and her daughter from London. Greetings to you.
Hello,
Any
Ajahn.
question?
No question. No. Any question? No. No question. No question. We're listening. Thank you.
All right then. So let me go to the next person, Yannasangwararam. Yannasangwararam from Lebanon.
Hello, Tanajan.
Greetings to you.
I wanted to ask you because some days I wake up normally and I can carry on my practice without any complication. But some days I wake up with a very crippling, depressive feeling, and I cannot get myself to follow any of your instruction, like even mantra or chanting or walking meditation or anything. It just feels like I can barely do the bare necessities just to, like just eating and hygiene and all of that. But do you have some instruction for those times when we're really down? Like,
yes,
is there something else?
Yes, you should think of the future, the bad thing that's gonna happen to you.
You mean like death contemplation?
Death, sickness, whatever crisis that can happen in life. If you don't have Dhamma, then you can be overwhelmed with stress and sadness. So if you try to practice now, you will have some protection for the future crisis, for the whatever situation that you might run into. If you have a lot of Dhamma, it's like taking the vaccination, Dhamma is like, practicing Dhamma is like taking the vaccination to protect your mind when it's being attacked by all the undesirable things that can happen to us, whatever they are. When you think like this, then you say, oh, I cannot be lazy. I have to get up and I have to walk, I have to do chanting or whatever to start the process going again. Thinking of death is a good one also. Getting sick, getting some physical or financial problem, for instance. If you should lose all your money tomorrow, what's going to happen? What you going to do? If you think, oh, I used to be a monk, I can go back and become a monk and meditate, no problem.
Yeah, I probably end up doing that. So
Because
you think
anything
that
can happen,
depression-
anything, huh?
Do you think like depression is the same like someone being lazy?
Well,
Just like a kind of laziness of the mind, perhaps.
I guess so, whatever it is. You just have to keep pushing your mind. Don't let it fall into sloth or torpor. Keep energizing your mind by telling or reminding you of the bad thing that's gonna come up sooner or later. And you need the practice of Dhamma to help you to go through all these bad things that will happen in the future.
Because it's very easy to turn on the TV and put on a song or a movie, and that will kind of help the mind to lift up. But I'm really trying not to do that. And but sometimes, like it's really like, how to say. I don't know why it's so difficult, and sometimes it's easy. But that's I just wake up like that,
Because the mind still keep changing from good to bad, from bad to good, like feelings, they keep changing. Sometimes external condition causing them to change, sometimes internal condition causing them to change. And if you keep doing the practice, then you can stabilize these changes to make them to be stable, makes your mind stable.
And that's the thing. I know that I know I know that stability because I've been through it. I told you when I was practicing the Goenka method, but I never got to experience it again since I tried to focus on the jhana practice. And that, kind of keeps me wanting to go back to my Goenka practice because it was so easy to develop mindfulness. It was like consistent for the whole day. I never experienced depression during that time. It was unthinkable for me.
Well,
So
go
now-
ahead and do it. If whatever method makes you feel good, nothing to stop you from doing it.
Yeah, but of course we shouldn't just go and do anything that makes us feel good. I mean, the feeling, right? The feeling good. Anything, like I said, even a song can make me feel good, or watching a movie. But doesn't mean I should go and do that the whole day. That's why I'm still thinking, like, why is my mind so depressed, even though I'm doing the right practice? You know what I mean? It's like, should I persist, or should, it's like, it's hard when you don't see light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? I don't want to like go back to something that might not be for my best interest for the long term. You know what I mean?
Maybe what you're doing right now is not enough yet to produce any tangible results. So you have to be patient. And maybe what you did before can give you quick result, but they might not be long lasting.
Yeah, exactly.
So just keep on practicing. It's like planting a tree. You have to plant the tree and cultivate it. Put water in it. Look after it. And one day it will grow up to be a big tree and give you the fruits you want. But it takes time. So you cannot be lazy in maintaining, developing your mind. Okay? What else can I say?
No, you said enough.
Yeah.
Nothing else to be said.
Okay then. All right, then we go to Sajal from Silver Spring, Maryland.
Can you hear me, Tanajan?
Yes, yes, perfectly.
I think the today's meeting is kind of very kind of insightful to me, and I think I'll have to pay this compliment to you that you are the one of the teachers that has come closest to telling the truth, the way Buddha did in his writings and in the teachings, really, because I think that consistently you do not shy away from the truth and tell us like the way it is, and I am able to see all of these things logically in my heart, but I'm just always wondering in this lifetime will I be able to let go and
stop wondering and stop wondering and start practicing.
But
don't wonder too much. Don't think too much. Stop thinking and start doing the practice.
but yes, but the worldly responsibilities, if they're not relinquished now at my age, and I think I may not have the actual physical time to do enough practice to stay to make progress, because there is no guarantee that I'll come to Buddhist teaching and to an enlightened teacher or something for the foreseeable future, because there is no guarantee that I'll be brought to the teachings again. So as you said, that we got to see this thing, the time is running out on us, and we got to practice and see the urgency of the thing, and so that is what I tell myself all the time. But mindfulness is not strong, and I know that need more practice. Even without sitting in meditation, it is possible to practice be mindful all throughout the day. But I think at some point I'll have to pull the plug on these worldly things, and I think whichever way devote more time to actual practice. Otherwise, I think that all these things will be theoretical. That's what I'm afraid of.
Well, by thinking like this, you are advancing already. You know what you have to do now. See? Before you might not think, oh, it's important to skip all these other activities. You might thought I can do both at the same time. But now, as you study more and more, as you practice more and more, you realize that you have to give up everything except the practice, and concentrate solely on your practice if you want to get any worthwhile result from your practice. So do it. Now you know what you have to do, and the time is running out. You're in your 60s or 70s now. It's a good reminder. Age is a good reminder. Yeah. It's like a candle. You might not only have a very little left before the light goes out.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, no question today.
No.
All right. Let me go to Jason. Jason from Malaysia.
Good evening, Tanajan. I'm from Malaysia, but actually now I'm in Singapore.
Okay.
I'm in a hotel doing quarantine and attending your session. Actually, Tanajan, got two questions to ask, please.
Yes, go ahead.
The first one was earlier you're mentioning about pain, and before you become a Sotapanna, you must also experience some pain to recognize the anicca, anatta, and dukkha. But I was wondering if you are in a jhana state where the piti, the eruptions, and all these things, they're happy. It's not so much pain already. When you're in samadhi, you're very deep into samadhi, and the pain is not so obvious. So how do you contemplate pain during this 4 jhana to become Sotapanna?
You don't do that when you're in jhana. You have to come out of jhana. And when you want to get up, you say, no, let's continue on sitting and let the pain arise. And then you use wisdom to deal with the pain that arises by not going into jhana.
But once you are able, for example, once you are able to get samadhi and you are in the jhana state already, I would say that, your samadhi is so good that it's not really very painful anymore. that's how I see it in my practice. I feel that I'm able to get a bit of samadhi, and now every time I sit, the pain is less. So how do I contemplate on that to get, I don't know, I'm not sure.
Well, you're talking about two things now, death or pain. We're talking about pain. Don't talk about death now. This is not the way to deal with death. We're talking about pain of the body when you sit in meditation. When you come out of jhana and you don't get up, if you continue on sitting, eventually the pain will become stronger and stronger. And if you want to use, you can use two methods. You can use jhana by concentrating on your breath or mantra and go back into jhana, or you can use wisdom and don't go into jhana and come face to face with the pain and see if you can live with the pain without having to run away from it by using anicca, dukkha, anatta to teach your mind.
So is it okay if you go into samadhi and you're able to go into a deep samadhi and your transition through the fourth jhana, and you really don't need to come out and to experience pain to go back again? You just go progressing all the way through. Is that okay?
But you cannot stay in jhana for all the time. See, you cannot stay there for a certain length of time, and then you're gonna have to come out.
Yeah, but when you come out from jhana, there's not so much pain. Is that all right?
Well, right now maybe not. But what happens when you get cancer? When you get sickness?
I see what you mean. Yeah. So my next question, Ajahn, is that when you do in a samadhi, when do you realize? Because when you're in samadhi, deep samadhi, a lot of things happening to your mind, and you feel, well, how do you know where you're getting a jhana of the first one, the piti? How do you know? I mean, I'm sure there must be some very obvious thing that happened that that you can recognize that this is piti already. I'm not attaching to it. You just know that you have come to that stage.
Well, when it comes to it, you know it. See? When it doesn't come, then you know it doesn't come yet. Just do the practice. This is not something to sit down and imagine.
Okay.
Just do the practice.
Just continue into the deep samadhi. That's all. I'm just.
But just to let you know that sometimes you can go into the fourth jhana without experiencing the first, second, or third jhana, because it can go in directly into the fourth. So there might not be piti or sukha, but the mind just falling from a high place and then stop and become still and have equanimity and peace. So don't worry about this different level of jhana. What you have to worry about is just your concentration.
Yes, but why I ask this question is because in my deep samadhi, I literally experience a bit of everything, like I mentioned, like the sort of like a.
Well, then it's not yet deep samadhi.
Okay.
When you deep samadhi, you don't experience anything but emptiness and equanimity.
Okay, Ajahn, that's all. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Really improve a lot through your learning session through here.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay. Alex, G3, you're next. Where are you from? Alex, please unmute your microphone.
Hello, Alex. Yeah, I'm from Brazil.
Brazil.
From Holland and from my mother, remember?
Alexa Aruka, right? Alexa Aruka. You look different. Yeah. I'm not sure why, but you seem to be a different person.
I think it's about the mustache
I see, okay.
They say that I look like El Chapo Guzman, the big boss of mafia. Now he sits for life in America.
El Chapo, okay.
They say here that I look like El Chapo. I said, yeah, my plan is to sit for life. So I let in homage the mustache. I'm gonna sit for life, but for the goodness, because he cannot do nothing bad anymore, The evil is gone, huh? So me too. I took the joke for a motivation for the goodness. And well, the nice thing is that today I had the same what we were talking now about the pain. I had pain everywhere. It was terrible. Yesterday night, I moved to Amsterdam to move ambient, to change ambient. I'm in a flat of a friend. It's empty, so to have another environment, and it's a very good experience. But I have pain everywhere, like a sciatic nerve and things like that, and a lots of a disturbance because new ambient, everything. And then I said, okay, let's sit and deal with this all. And then I sit for 4 hours or more, I don't know, I'm not controlling, and everything disappeared and I feel good. And I try to don't move from my quarter. I have a hang mat. I lay on this hang mat, or I sit on the hang mat, or I dance around on the hang mat, right foot, left foot, bu, to. Try to don't move from it, but it's difficult because I am still on rest. But at least I was again 4 hours or more on meditation, and I succeed over wind pain. And the rapture is not coming yet, but I'm not worried, it will come again.
Yes, everything comes and go. Good and bad feelings, they take turn coming to visit us. We just have to learn to accept them all, good or bad.
Yeah, I'm not interested more to feel good or to feel bad, because I know I'm 62. they are gonna get old and sick and gonna die, and I see everybody getting old and have pain and problems. I solve them. They come new. So what? I don't have no more time to lose with those things. What I'm trying, teacher, is now I'm gonna be here for 15 days. So I really gonna try don't move my ass from my seat, you know. That will be impossible for me, but like today succeed 4 hours or more. It was a long time since I met you that I was, you brought a lot of change in my practice, you know, because I get some excitement, yes, because then we met live. Because I was studying for 6 years, then I get into Jhana, and then we met, and then I get very excited. Then I close all my Facebook, WhatsApp with the family, distance also, but for real, you know, it was very difficult emotionally, everything, and was a lot of was the last group of changes I had to be made, but to me to go ahead. But what I learned about Buddha yesterday is that when he was sick and pain, he most of the time was in jhana. Only when he have to teach, he was not in jhana. So I will try to stay in with this jhana, although it's not the rapture. Not there to try to compare my jhana. It's just everything. The feeling is under control, but it's not rapture. But anyway, for me it's okay because I can stay for hours, still thinking a little bit, but not sleeping anymore. You know, when in meditation.
The goal is to not to be disturbed by anything that you come across with.
No way. I used not to be afraid, although I was always afraid. I face everything, and I'm facing now sitting.
Yeah, just live with it. Just learn to live with it happily.
Yeah.
Or normally, not agitated, not restless, not stressful. Just calm.
Today is the Queen Day here in Holland. So it was a party here above, and I just moved to here from there are 4 or 5 students who is there. I support the party until certain moment late in the night. Then I go there to talk to them, And then they told me it's a queen part, so we are allowed to make part inside the flats. I said, no, I don't come to complain. I was just curious. What if it was playing football or dancing with the chairs, what it was. And I was really happy with them together. Them was really no old Burma neighbor complaint. It was funny to meet them. They like also. And I noticed with a lot of things are like this. I cannot be angry anymore. The expressions I used to use when things was not going the way I like, by daily things, are very rarely I use a F name or a heavy name. You know, like when things don't work, I just have the feeling of it and I don't say it. Sometimes even not the feeling. So it's amazing. I love in the sense of I really I'm complete with meditation. I feel complete. I don't need any more. And I'm very lucky that I can do that here in Holland. So, and now it's about control the eating, no? Because I came back. I had made some days of fasting, but later when I stopped with my cigar, I used to smoke cigars, and then I stopped. I gained 12 kilos. You know, just by then this one now I'm busy with controlling now.
Okay.
The eating.
Moderation in eating. This is the Buddha's teaching. Not too much, not too little.
Yeah, I learned it the day before yesterday. Coincidentally, I read about the horses again, the Padaparama horse. But then in another sutta, he says when he explained to the guy, to the trainer, he said, well, the student who can do it very fast, this should eat a little bit, and the other one, second one, would also eat a little bit. The third one, who is more difficult or very difficult but possible, this one should eat almost nothing. I think I am this one.
Yeah. Maybe you should fast for a week, see what happens.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna try. Thank you. You are my commandant, and when you say, I get the power for it.
All right. Is that enough? Okay.
Thank you.
I think everybody has a chance to ask the question in the first round now. So before I go to you, the second round, let me go to people from Facebook first. Is there any question from Facebook?
Yes, there are 5 questions from Facebook. And the first question from Ui Po Hua. If the law says it is legal to have 4, is this okay?
4 wives? Is it legal to have? Well, it's legal, but it doesn't mean moral. It depends on whose teaching you're following. See? Well, concerning this, in Buddhism, I'm not sure whether a person can have more wife or more husband or not, according to the third precept, I think. Do not commit, sexual misconduct. So I think this depends on the culture of the people. If people is normal to have 2 wives, 2 husbands, then I guess it's okay. But if it's normal to have 1 wife and 1 husband, and you have more than 1, then it's not okay. So this third precept depends on the cultural practice of that particular culture or that particular country. Can be different. Okay.
Yes. Next question from Madison Weather. Greeting Ajahn. When one is being choked or abused, how can one feel less compassion towards the doer or giving metta?
Well, just think that it's an accident. Like you walk into an orchard, a coconut orchard, and one of the coconut fall down and hit your head. What you gonna do? You're gonna get angry at the coconut, Or you're just gonna accept your fate that this is my fault to come here. If I don't come here, then I won't get this treatment. Yeah. So if you just blame yourself, then you won't get angry at the other person. See? Blame yourself for being here, being born, being at this place at this time. So you get what you get from being here. See? So just blame yourself, then you won't get angry at the other person.
Next question from Adeline Chin. Good evening, Thanajaan. My question this evening is, lately I noticed that I keep getting angry more and more, and that my anger usually stems from my kids. I love them very much, but there are times they do drive me crazy and mad. Sometimes I feel very upset and sad and find it's hard to calm my mind, even though I try to chant the mantra. Can Ajahn advise me what and how I can overcome this situation?
Yes, your anger arises from your expectation from them. See, you expect them to behave, so when they don't behave, you get angry. So don't expect anything from them. Think of them like puppies, like dogs. Then you don't expect anything from them, you know.
Next question from Liao Ying Ming. Ajahn Suchart, what should one proceed to do if one experiences nimitta or kasina when one is meditating? Thank you, Ajahn.
Should ignore them. Just concentrate on your meditation object. If you're using the breath, just keep focusing on your breath. If you recite a mantra, just continue on reciting the mantra. And just disregard, ignore everything that appears.
Next question from Linda Lee, and it is a long question. Thank you for taking my question, Ajahn. It's an ongoing phenomenon that social groups, my class for example, I have to spend time with would soon I have at least one person who would start being negative towards me. I've been doing my best to ignore my not reaction and move on away from the group to a new group. Yet again, it's happened the same. I feel very affected by the unwholesome energy, despite not consciously focusing on it. I usually am very chirpy and joyful in groups with no personal ego towards anyone. Yet, after some time together, I will start to feel the negativity and all passive-aggressive actions towards me. Is this normal that I keep facing such situations? How can I reason to the mind such that it won't cause me unnecessary suffering by thinking that there's something's wrong with me and I'm just being too sensitive?
Well, maybe because you expect, and when you don't get what you expect, then you become unhappy. So if you cannot get what you expect, then maybe don't expect anything from anybody. Then just take things as they come, as I always say. Then you will not be unhappy that way. But if you expect, if you want to have this or that type of person, and you don't want this or that type of person, so when you run into the people you don't like, then you can have problems. Another alternative is if you find it difficult to live to hang around with other people, why don't you just be alone? Try to stay alone. This is the best solution, I think. Just be alone and meditate. And you can advance more in your practice when you're alone than when you hang around with people. Because when you hang around with people, you have a lot of mental activity going on. You have to think, and you have to speak, you have to do things. But when you're alone, you can then curb these mental activities. And then it might be easier for you to meditate and accomplish something from your meditation. So if you find having company is not beneficial, why don't you just have no company for a change? See what it's like to be alone, to live alone. The Buddha said if you cannot find the right people to live with. It's better to live alone. Okay.
Next question from Amon Pan Pink. Good evening, Prajan. Thank you for your insightful session. Could you please guide me how to focus energy to meditate after a long day at work? ค่ะ ขอบคุณค่ะ
When you cannot yet sit down and meditate, you can listen to Dhamma talk first. Turn on Dhamma talk and just then let the Dhamma talk calm you down from your daily activity. Or if you like, you can do chanting. Keep on chanting for a while to make your mind forget about what you did in your work. So when your mind calms down enough and able to concentrate on your breath, and you just keep concentrating, watching your breath. Is that all the question? You have to turn on your microphone, Kula. Unmute your microphone.
There's one more question, ท่านอาจารย์
Okay.
Question from Lavi Chandra. ท่านอาจารย์ The fifth precept, see a mind cultivation, explained by the analogy of fermentation, distillation, and refining. Is this actually deeper than just abstaining from alcohol or addictive substance? Kindly provide your experience on how the lightly view this precept that actually is all about pavana and gradual progression of mannerism to transform from a self-centric being into a selfless existence. Metta.
Well, this fifth precept is to stop taking anything that can cause you to become reckless, not being able to control yourself, not being mindful. That's the purpose of this precept. So it doesn't matter what you take, alcohol, wine, or beer, or drugs. And when you take them, then you become reckless. You become unmindful. Then this is not good. Then you should not do it.
That's all, ท่านอาจารย์
Okay. Now we'll come back to our group here. Anybody would like to ask more questions? If you do, just raise your hand and unmute your microphone. Claudia?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I want, if it's okay, I would like to give my email address to Kenneth.
Sure,
because
sure.
I'm not able to.
You want to send it by chat? We can open the chat for you.
Oh, this would be great.
I turn on the chat already. You can chat with him.
Okay, thank you. So I just give him my email address.
Click on the chat below, and there's an icon called chat, and then you can chat with Kenneth.
Yeah. Did you get it? Okay. Okay. Thank you. That's it. Thank you very much.
Right. Anybody, any question?
Evie.
Evie, okay. Evie,
Thank you, Ajahn. My question is, what the true characteristic of the meditation? Because I'm trying to adjust my anapanasati now.
True characteristic of meditation is to calm your mind, to stop your mind from thinking, to make your mind peaceful and happy from being calm. So this is the purpose of meditation.
And how about my condition is, while during meditation, I always have a message. I call it knowledge. Yeah. But this is the knowledge I don't know. But I have acquired quite a lot of this kind of knowledge. And I think all the knowledge appears is well-intentioned. But who gave me the knowledge, I don't know. It just appeared in my mind during meditation. Today knowledge is a wife storms one time.
See, the knowledge that you might receive, you have to find out whether it's good for you or not, beneficial for you or not. If it's not beneficial or useful, then you should disregard them. And if you don't know whether they are beneficial or not, then you should just disregard them.
Yeah, benefit for me, see, I actually.
If the knowledge can help you get rid of your defilement, can help you get rid of your stress, your suffering, then they are good knowledge. And the knowledge that seeing yourself turning into a corpse, your body turning into a corpse, this is considered to be good knowledge according to Buddhism, because it gives you the insight into the nature of your body. That's so knowledge there.
Sometimes I see my hair getting white all. Why my hair all is white in my meditation, but it's only appear my meditation and my skin. My skin got all is
wrinkles.
Yeah, wrinkle. All is like I am like a grandma, 80 years.
Okay, this kind of knowledge is good because this foretell of the future of this body.
Yeah, so I can accept it.
Yeah, and you can maintain it, keep it in your mind, and remind yourself, this is the nature of your body.
Yeah, but today, the knowledge is the wife stomps his leg one time, and the crowd applauds a lot, which means is wife represent the meaning of our heart. Our heart know what we are doing right or wrong. The clap of the crowd is only seeing from the outside, giving a reaction to what we do, but they actually don't know what we are doing right or wrong. Therefore, you must be careful what you think, say, and do. Do not be influenced by applause from the outside, but pay attention in the stomping of your heart, which only rings one time. Is this correct? Is this correct, Ajahn? Because I have experienced it many times. All the knowledge that appears is different, but has a deep meanings for me.
Well, you have to decide for yourself because I cannot answer this question.
Yeah, I have a lot of this, Ajahn. Sometimes they give me like a tree has many leaves. The leaves is yellow or just.
If you're not sure, just this. If you're not sure, just forget it. Just forget it. You're not sure whether it's good or bad for you, then just forget it.
But all is good for me, I think, Ajahn.
They are not important. What is more important is for your mind to become blank, become empty.
The right meditation is blank, yeah, Ajahn. Yeah,
emptiness. Make the mind empty, and then you'll find peace and happiness there. Better than anything, any knowledge.
But sometimes appear a corpse. What can I do if a corpse, Ajahn?
Well, if you don't know what to do, then leave it alone.
Just ignore. But
yeah, just ignore it. If you don't know how to use it, then ignore it. Like if you get a gun and you don't know how to use it, what you gonna do? Just throw it away if you don't know what to use it.
Sometimes I cut, Ajahn. I cut the body because it appears and don't want to disappear.
Because you keep on thinking about it. You can then, if it keeps appearing, you just keep reciting a mantra, then you cannot come back in to your mind. All right?
Okay.
I think somebody, Kun La, more Facebook question?
Yes, one more question,ท่านอาจารย์ A question from Xiao Alexander. Good evening, ท่านอาจารย์ What is the most simple mantra to recite when practicing meditation? I'm starting to practice.
Well, in Thailand we use Buddha, Bhutto, the name of the Buddha. We're reciting Bhutto. That's the most simple. But you can use other mantra. If you like impermanent, you can use impermanent or anicca. Everything is impermanent. Or you like anatta, use anatta. Any kind, any word will be okay to stop your mind from thinking, wandering aimlessly. All right, anybody else have any question? Sam? Okay, Sam Otomo. Please unmute.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just want to ask you, Ajahn, how is the best way to sharing merit? My question actually, particularly, I've been told actually it's good to share merit by pouring water, but sometimes, like last time, I went to Chiang Mai in Thailand. So I went to the market, just specifically really to the market because I want in the morning. I just want to bring food and then give donation to the monk who is doing pindapat. But of course, I cannot pour water because there's in the market and there's a lot of monks. So is that necessary?
You don't need water. You don't need water. Water is just a symbol
Okay.
of the merit that you share. Some people cannot understand what merit is, so they are told to think of it as like water. You're
Right.
pouring the water from one container to another container. So you send your merits from your heart to another heart. See? Send it from one mind to the next mind. That's all.
Thank you.
You can dedicate by just thinking and dedicate that merit by thinking.
Yeah. So sorry, Ajahn. For example, like when you say dedicated by thinking, if for example it's like I want to dedicate to the teacher, and or any ancestor or any parents who pass away, can I just say in general, like to the parent who passed away, to the ancestor who passed away, or I have to specify?
As so long as they know who you're thinking of.
Yeah. Okay. That's all, Ajahn. Thank you very much.
All right. You're welcome. Anybody else? Alex, you want to ask another question?
Oh yeah. Sorry. In 4 years, I get my so how to say
pension.
Yeah.
Pension.
My pension, but I don't feel like to stay around anymore because it's easy to stay out of a monastery, because it's easy to break the precepts. It's not so easy, but I have to learn to deal with my new personality. How if you talk to people, let's say I was in the market for looking for something electronics, there was some nice people, and then look like the old Alex react something I know or some. Then if I say something, then start again making relations, and I know I'm aware about that, but most of times after it happens, and also somebody asked my telephone number, things like that, because I'm trying to be sympathetic, not antipathic. But so my question is, well, I took my vaccination, and 4 years has to come, and I have a very good place to train to make my studies and training. But Buddha says the best ground for Dhamma is a monastery, because there, like now I have problems with the internet. I always have problems with the these things, because I start too old with those things, technology, this technology, but I don't mind. But I don't mind also to stay without it, really. I'm done with my past. But what do you advise? You think, I know that you would say, just sit and meditate and don't think about the future, but to live, because I'm preparing without stress to go to Thailand. I get my first vaccination, AstraZeneca, and I was planning, I don't need to be at your monastery. They denied me already twice, 6 years ago. The last time was to visit you, but then just came the corona, and then was not possible to come. But any monastery around you, I was planning to visit you and to look at the same time to look for somewhere nearby you, somewhere that you also advise, oh, that may be a good option or something like this. What do you think? Shall I really don't think about this and to have my pension, because I can make donations later with this pension, full pension, because those years I don't stay here anymore. Will be €100 less in the end. But my intention is, if I still alive, to be monk forever.
Okay.
So,
if you can become monks, then you won't need to spend any money. Then you can give your money away. But if you're not a monk, you still have to rely on your money to support you.
Yeah, my intention is to become a monk. So I don't make sense to stay more 4 years waiting for this pension, huh? And then I have to stay around. And I noticed it's difficult to don't talk for me, when to don't talk about Dhamma or something like this, or to don't express with somebody. I don't know. Maybe I will learn to be completely mysterious and so just smile and say, just answer basics. But I'm not trained for that yet. So I thought about to go to the university, like you said, to monastery. There is no internet, and you have the teacher. That's what I'm trying to. Just sometimes I put down my internet. I pay just very little money now, but it was not working. So I put more credits again, and then I see you again. But I stopped to look for politics. Interested me all my life, not anymore. I'm not interested. But yeah, I'm only interested in Dhamma. But also sometimes it would be nice if I have some people who I can share about the Dhamma something, or sometimes to have it around, because look like I'm the only one around here.
Well, you have us here on Zoom. You come here once a week and we can discuss the Dhamma. And that should be enough to keep you going for the next week, until the next week.
Yeah, that I want to do. And I'm already, because it was difficult for me to quit. I quit the media, the social media, but I didn't quit my curiosity to look at something else in the PC, in the laptop. But last week, I don't have it anymore because I put down my internet. But then I saw you in the Sunday. Then I to talk to you. I have to pull credits, so I did more credits. So therefore, I'm talking to you now. And but what I wanted to say is that I'm succeeding to get rid of other interests than the Dhamma. And yeah, but I think you answered me already. You said, okay, if you want to be monarch, you don't need pension. That was my question. And also, lots of things I would like to share with you is not really properly to share via Zoom. I don't think so.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
But just to let you know that being a monk is not easy. You might, when you think about it right now, you might think, oh, it's easy to be monks. But when you become monks, you're almost like stripped of everything, and you just have to rely on your mental resources to keep you going. And if you don't have, you'll find it very difficult to live as a monk. Because there are so many monastic rules, there are so many things that will restrain you from doing anything.
Well, Yeah, I believe you. You know better. And so what I do, what advise me, be strong first with strong mind, stronger your mind up, and reach
Maybe
Vijnana.
maybe you can experiment becoming a monk, but and take it from there to see whether you can go through it or not. You don't know. Like take it like swimming. When you think about swimming on the ground, it's so easy. But when you go into the water and start swimming, you might find it not the same like when you thinking about it when you're on the ground.
Yeah, we have to consider also there are other situations that we have to quote with or the organization and other
That's
things.
right. They have rules, and you have different types of people you might have to meet to live with. So I think you should take it as a trial and error method. Take it as an experiment first before you fully decide whether you're gonna go through it or not. Once you know that you can go through it, then you can then give up all your money. But if you're not sure yet, then
Sorry.
so try to be a monk first and see what it's like before you decide what to do with your pension or whatever.
We stay 3 months, maybe in monastery or something like that.
Yeah, something. Some monastery requires you to stay at 1 year as a preceptor, like Ajahn Chah's monastery. They require that you stay for 1 year as a anakalika.
Yeah, no, I was in a monastery for 15 days. But if you, it's not that I'm only that I'm critical, is but I learned a lot with you. Last time you schooled me, you said about some people never get the mind rested for 20 years, you said. And then I start to understand why some monarchs, they have difficult also. They are in monastery, but if the principle they follow is not strong or clear like Buddha did. But with you, it was very simple for me. In first week, I started to do the Buddha. And I was training very hard. I came from many days meditation from Goenka and things like that. So I was strong with meditation. And then you said, no, it's simple. If you make a mindfulness, then it will come easy, the raptures. I didn't get the completely rapture, but I get very nearby with Buddha. So then I said, well, that's the right way. So and every time I follow this rhythm, and I get very near.
Okay,
So,
I think maybe that's enough for now. Okay.
okay. So thank you very much, and I will hear that again. What you said to me to remember exactly. Thank you very much.
I think we have a latecomer. Aseng, you want to say anything? Aseng?
Yes, thank you, Prajan. This is the first time I log in looking at your weekly life. It's been very inspiring when we are checking against the gentleness that you flow is really very beneficial to everybody in terms of a virtual community. So this logging in, actually, I don't have any questions for now, but I want to show appreciation to you and the community. I mean, without the community, this probably would not exist. So, and gratitude to you because you show an example of how the right way of living, your gentleness towards your patience, cannot feel any ill will within you. So when the ill will is removed, this gentleness naturally flows. You show this example of how it would be on the path. So I'm very grateful to be in your virtual presence. really looking forward to see you in person after the COVID.
Okay, where are you from? Malaysia?
I'm from Singapore.
From Singapore.
I've been practicing the Burmese tradition, but Dhamma is Dhamma, regardless of country or tradition.
Yes.
You exude a true example of what a Dhamma practitioner should be. I will be very looking forward to see you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, thank you for for your input. Okay, anybody else would like to ask any questions? Alvin? Alvin. Okay. Oh, sorry. Unmute again. Unmute again. Can you unmute? Okay.
No, Ajahn, sorry, I don't have any question.
Oh, I thought you raised your hand. All right.
There is one last question from Facebook.
Oh, okay. We'll have to finish pretty soon. Okay, go ahead.
One question from Facebook from Osadi De Silva. With Metta Ajahn, during meditation, what does it mean when there is a light shining from my forehead and is continue for a long time? Then the light goes and there is only peace. Sometimes the peace and the light continues. This happens almost every time I meditate. Thank you.
Well, it doesn't mean anything. It is what it is. What you want is peace and calm of mind. If anything else appears, just disregard it. Just ignore it. Concentrate on your meditation object to get to peace and happiness. That's what you want from meditation. Other things, they are considered to be distraction. Not important to pay any attention to. Okay, anybody else? Any more questions? We're almost 3 hours into our meeting this time. Okay, maybe it's time for us to say goodbye for today. All right, thank you very much for your participation. As always, I hope it helps you to advance you in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay healthy and mindful. And I'll see you again next week. Goodbye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you, Prajan.
Thank you, Admin. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.